This client went to failure on every one of these sets, and we found out that 70% of his 1RM is the most stimulative for hypertrophy because it depleted SMO2 levels to their lowest point. Now, SMO2 isn't a direct indicator of mechanical tension, but everything costs energy. And when you deplete SMO2, oxygen saturation, to its lowest point, you create peripheral fatigue and recruit all the high threshold motor units as a result, which is the maximum amount of mechanical tension you could place on a muscle. Because the high threshold motor units only come in when the smaller ones are fatigued. So it's a good indicator of how much mechanical tension you're placing when resistance training. And doing a test like this actually tells you what muscle group needs what rep scheme at what percentage of your 1RM and eliminates any unnecessary fatigue. You also tend to see that once you find the right rep scheme or you stay in the right rep range, the first set is the most hypertrophic, which is shown in the research, and subsequent sets are not as hypertrophic. They don't actually drop SMO2 to as low of a level. But it's important to note that SMO2 oxygen saturation has to be taken with a grain of salt depending on what muscle group you're doing. Also, you have to know that the upper limbs are very much more likely to deplete SMO2 to zero than the lower limbs, because the lower limbs, you have to walk around all day, we run, they're more enduring for longer periods of time. People with more total hemoglobin will have a lot higher rates of oxygen saturation oftentimes than other people because, well, they have more total blood volume and you're measuring oxygen saturation in the blood. So these kind of devices are super cool, but I play around with them and I study exercise physiology, and I'm an NSCA CPT. If you want to give me a follow and learn more, this is what I post about. And yeah, more to come.